Hello, Phil Human! Welcome back to another Dank Doggo / Entitled Parents videos. Do you listen to foreign music? Or you only enjoy music of your own country? The first story is by r/call-aus-hurt. Learn to speak English and stop listening to foreign music. I'm Scottish! This just happened to me and I'm both shocked and laughing my butt off. I was on a bus on my way into college listening to a punk band I've recently got heavily into. It's a band in the German-speaking region of the South Tyrol in Italy. The bus is fairly packed, so I'm right at the front, at the butt where you'd park a pram or a wheelchair. A woman with a pram gets onto the bus and sits in the only free seat next to me. She looks down at my phone, why I still can't work out, and sees that I'm listening to a song which can be roughly translated to "Winners stand where losers fall," and yanks one of my earphones out. "You live in Scotland, stop listening to your crappy Polish music. God, all you ducking Polacks are all the same, refusing to be decent citizens and speak English. This is why we voted to leave the EU. Scotland didn't, but I digress. So we could get your crap out of here. I'm Scottish, born and bred. Apart from a week in Amsterdam, 2 weeks in Morocco, 3 weeks in the States, and a week in France, I've stayed very much in UK my entire life, never been to Poland or Germany for that matter. I eventually had enough of her BS, so I tried to put her in her place. This is German music, also I was born here, to Scottish parents. Karen tried to make a rebuttal, but I got there first. Also, how does me listening to some punk rock that happens to be in German affect you? I have my headphones, you can't hear it. Karen's eyes lit up, as if she'd won the Karen lottery. Why are you listening to that sinful demonic music in the public? You're gonna scare my kid. I look in the pram. Firstly, your child is sound asleep. And secondly, I have my headphones in, you can't hear it, I can't hear it. Screw off and let me listen to my music in peace. Maybe Polish people aren't the problem in this country. Maybe it's stuck-up, judgmental, racist tramp like you. As I called her out on her BS, she whacked the stop button and yeeted herself and the pram right off the bus at the next stop. Thank Doc. Well, can M please mind her own business, please, because OP used headphone for Pete's sake. He didn't even disturb anybody. We have here the second story written by you/Do you like my name? M joins our Skype call after we pawned her son repeatedly in Minecraft. I was playing on a Minecraft server with 5 friends at the time and this happened, and this new kid joined our game and our Skype call. He kept breaking our builds and demanding we give him stuff. We originally decided to ban him, but we wanted to have some fun, so we kept owning him. The Skype call was basically 6 guys laughing and little kids screaming, calling us hackers. We were talking on Skype when M called. "Let my son play on the server, you ungrateful ducks!" No, we all said at the same time. "My husband is a lawyer and he will sue you, and I will call the police for harassment." Shut up, lady! Don't you talk to me like that. My son deserves all of your items more than all of you combined. Screw off, woman! You're not allowed to ducking swear. Only adults are allowed to use that kind of language. One of us makes a religious Minecraft server meme and she gets really pissed. "How dare you insult my religion? You're all going to hell." "Alright, where do you live?" We start making up addresses like 69 Grass Street and 420 Screw Off Avenue. "That's it! I'm leaving." About time. She left and blocked us. Me and my friends still joke about that incident. Honestly, what else you would have expected from a bunch of Minecraft homies? She should have known not to mess with Minecrafters. Next up, we have the third story shared by you/KingBman122. "You wanna let your kid play with my what? Cast. Me? Probably Jesus, you never know. Girlfriend, girl fairy. M. Some dumb butt who doesn't respect firearms. CK. Adorable kid who was just curious. MK. My kid, the cutest kid in the world. I'm the future stepfather if you're curious." On to the story. I'm at the park with my daughter and girlfriend helping her play on the slide. As CK is running around with stranger's kid, playing with a fake gun and finger guns. Now I'm trying to make it a personal habit to always carry firearm with me whenever I go. I fully conceal it as much as possible, but I'm guessing when I reached up to put my baby girl on the slide, it must have revealed it. Cause next thing I know, I feel a tug at my shirt where my gun is so quickly turned around and it goes as follows. Me. "What's up, little buddy?" "CK, let me see your gun. We're playing cowboys and he doesn't have one." Points to a friend. Me, oh no, sorry pal. No one can have this but me. It's dangerous. CK looks angry, pretends to shoot me and runs off. Over? I hoped, but no. Soon I hear an ahem. Me, what? Why can't my kid play with your toy? Me, what toy? The toy gun on your hip. Me, no, sorry. This is a real gun and it's dangerous. Proceed to check to make sure if it's still hidden under the shirt. It is. So just take the bullets out and let him play with it. Me, how about you screw off? Baffled look. Well, I never. What's the harm of him playing with it if it's unloaded? Me, I'm sure you haven't. And because loaded or not, I'm not letting a child with a docking gun, you half-wit. Don't you have someone else's business to mind? I'm going to call the police because you have a gun at a park. Me, go right, duck a hat, it's a public place. Huffs and storms off, not to be heard from. Was an annoying encounter that put damper on my already sour day. For your information, this takes place in America. Ages, me, 23, girlfriend, 22, MK2, CK, maybe 5 to 7, was short but seemed competent, and looked a little bit older than me, so maybe like 25? Well, that is some next level bad parenting, but still, I'm surprised that she didn't just grab it and run away like most Karen would. Moving on to the fourth story shared by you/Zara Faraz. This is how you deal with them. Speak another language. I always thought these crazy people who didn't mind their own business must be rare breed, and that I would never encounter one of them, but somehow I did. So a little background before I start. I was born in Pakistan but came to Canada when I was 3. But by that time, I could already speak in Urdu, Punjabi, and Hindi. The languages are fairly similar in many regards. And then, I came to Canada, and English was my 4th language. And as I grew up, I also learned Arabic, French, and Japanese to varying competencies, but all within the realm of conversational. Having grown up in Canada, I have no accent when I speak English, so you wouldn't be able to tell me apart from a Caucasian person if you spoke with me over the phone. But also, having learned so many languages, I'm able to pronounce a lot of sounds fairly accurately. So, I sound authentic in all languages that I speak into, all but native speakers. Most of the languages that I know sound different enough from each other that someone that doesn't know them can still tell the language is different. I've traveled back home to Pakistan a few times, and I would always encounter those beggars who come with elaborate stories, like my wife is sick and she needs surgery, and I managed to get money for that, but I need money for the flight to reach her, etc. I came up with a fun counter to that, which was that I would act like I didn't understand them at all, and would start speaking in a different language that they wouldn't know. Japanese was my go-to language while in Pakistan. The reaction those people would have was quite hilarious. Instead of acronyms, I'll use fake names. I'll keep them all 5-letter names so the columns line up decently enough. So anyway, on to my story now. The cast. Karen, the star of the show. Jimmy, Karen's husband, a decent human being. Zaraf, me. Wife, my wife. Singh, restaurant manager. So my wife and I were at an Indian restaurant in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, enjoying our dinner and having a conversation. We speak in a mix of Urdu and English, with mixing with whatever feels easy. To someone listening in, they would be able to understand enough to figure out what we're talking about in most cases. We were sitting in a booth table, so it was only open from one side. Karen and her family, Jimmy and her 2 daughters, that looked like they were in their early teens, were sitting at an open table with an empty table between us. My wife is a Pakistani like me, and what some Pakistan like to do is to eat rice with their hands. I prefer a spoon myself, but at this time my wife was eating with her hands. Apparently, this Karen got offended at seeing my wife eat with her hands. When she came over, I started speaking in different languages, acting like I didn't understand what she was saying in English. I'll translate what I said and put in parentheses which language I said it in. Here's how it went. Karen walks over to our table with a sour expression on her face. Jimmy calls her, telling her to sit back down and leave us alone, but she ignored him. She addresses my wife directly. Karen, what is wrong with you? Can't you just eat your food in a civilized manner like the rest of us? Zaraf, Urdu. Huh? What do you want? Can't you see we're eating? Karen looks at me with surprise. Karen, what did you just say? Zaraf, Urdu, to wifey. Don't talk to her in English, just do what I'm doing. Zaraf, Urdu, to Karen. You're just a crazy woman, go sit back down. Karen, why aren't you speaking in English? My wife starts smiling and I try hard to keep a straight face. Wifey Urdu. We're just enjoying our meal. Why don't you just go and sit down?
Karen, I just heard you speaking in English. I know you can talk in English.
Zarif Urdu. Yeah, I can, but I choose not to do so. Wifey Urdu to Zarif. I think she's getting upset. Zarif Urdu to Wifey. I know, that's what makes this so much fun.
Karen, stop it. Talk in English like I heard you before.
Zarif, Japanese.
So you're listening in our conversation, eh? Don't you have any manners?
Karen,
wait, that is some other language now. What the hell is this?
Jimmy, leave them alone, Karen. They don't speak English.
Karen, I know they do. They're just pretending not to.
Jimmy, it doesn't matter. Just sit down. I start waving toward her table. Zarif, Japanese. That's right. Go back to your table, you loud cow. Jimmy, Karen, they aren't doing anything wrong. Leave them alone.
Karen, she's eating with her hands. I can't let the girls learn her uncivilized ways.
Zarif, Hindi to Wifey. Start licking your fingers. My wife start licking the rice on her right hand off the top part of her fingers. And that makes Karen rage even more.
Karen, oh my god, look at how gross she's being.
Jimmy, stop looking at her if you don't like it then. Zarif, Arabic. Hey, you dumb tramp. Do you behave this way everywhere you go?
Karen, he changed languages again. I know he did. His accent changed.
Zarif, Japanese. Yep, and I can keep changing.
Karen, speak in English.
Jimmy, you must have heard them wrong. They don't know English. Leave them alone.
Karen, then why are they living here? They don't deserve living here if they don't know English.
I was having a hard time keeping a straight face, so I disguised it by raising my voice and appearing angry. I gestured towards her and then pointed at her table. Zarif, Arabic. Are you so dumb you can't even listen to your husband? Go sit down and stop embarrassing yourself.
Karen, you don't deserve to be here. Get out.
At this point, the restaurant manager, Singh, shows up to see what all the commotion was about. He's an Indian guy with a pretty heavy accent when he spoke in English, so I knew he'd speak either in Hindi or Punjabi. Singh, excuse me? Can you please keep your voice down? What is going on here?
Karen, this woman is eating with her hands and it's disgusting. She's corrupting my children with her barbaric ways.
Singh, ma'am, there are no rules that forbid her from eating with her hands. Please leave them alone or I'll have to ask you to leave. Now Jimmy gets up and comes over to where Karen is. Jimmy, sit down, Karen. You've embarrassed yourself enough. This is why I can't take you anywhere. Zarif, Punjabi, ignore this dumb cow. Her brain is smaller than a laddu, an Indian sweet. The manager starts laughing at my comment and Karen gets even redder in the face since she probably thinks we're making fun of her.
Karen, all of you should go back to your country.
Jimmy just takes her arm and leads her back to their table and sits her down, telling her to shut up. Her daughter looks like they want to sink into the floor from embarrassment. I ramble a few more sentences in varying languages as a kind of venting before my wife tells me to just leave it alone. We finish our dinner about 10 minutes later with Karen glaring at us the whole time. I go to pay the bill, and as we're walking out of the restaurant, we pass near Karen's table. I call out to Jimmy in perfect English with no accent, while smiling and give him a wave. Zarif, hey buddy, I hope you enjoy your dinner. Have a good night. Karen's eyes bulge as she screams.
Karen, I knew it, see? They know English.
She tried to stand up suddenly, but instead ended up falling over backwards in her seat. My wife and I left the restaurant laughing before she could do anything else. TLDR, Karen gets upset that my wife is eating with her hands. I respond to her in various languages that she doesn't understand. Hilarity ensues. Oh wow, this is a first. Ordinary people like me wouldn't be able to pull this kind of thing off. Intelligence 100, destruction 100. The fifth story is shared by u/LightRay1943. Breastfeeding isn't allowed if you're a teen mom. So back in high school, one of my closest friends got pregnant and gave birth to the sweetest baby boy. She stopped going to school for a while to take care of her kid, but still did online school so she could graduate with her class. One thing we would do is go to one of the local food places near the high school on Fridays. And today, we decided to go to this nice Chinese place that I frequent regularly. And the little old Asian lady knows me by name. This Chinese place has a sticker on the front door that says something like, "Breastfeeding will always be allowed," which is great. since that's what my friend is more comfortable doing for her baby. After we ordered our food and hung out in this little waiting area when the baby gets all fussy, she takes out the little cover and covers her baby and her chest as she starts to feed him. We keep talking until this woman and her son, who had to be around 10, comes in. I recognize the kid as one of the kids I looked after when I used to volunteer at a youth center. He comes up to me and starts talking to me, and then asks my friend what she's doing with the baby. Before my friend could answer, the boy's mother cuts in.
A disgusting thing is what she's doing. Don't you know better than to do that in public? And why are you even doing that if you're only a kid?
My friend has an attitude sometimes, so I tried to jump in before she would start to throw things. It's not illegal, and Mrs. L is fine with it. She has a sticker on the door. Mrs. L being the little old Asian lady by the counter who was just oogling the baby a second ago. She smiles at us and continues to write some stuff down. The mother wasn't happy about this and continues with her BS.
I'm sorry, but I'm just not okay with a baby breastfeeding another baby. Can you please just stop?
She says in frustration. Mrs. L finally cuts in, and in her broken English she says, "Nursing baby is a beautiful thing. You have problem, you leave." And then taps the order on the window that leads to the kitchen and apologizes to my friend for the woman's nasty behavior. She then looks at the boy who's still next to me and says jokingly,
"You are mother, she dummy, right?"
This makes the boy laugh, and the mother just grumble in her seat, trying to stay as far from us as she could. When my friend finished and we grabbed our food, Mrs. L threw in extra order of eggs rolled since they were my friend's favorite. Everything was fine until Monday came and I saw the boy again. He pulls me off to the side and tells me that his mom said she doesn't like me or my friend. I just ask him if he still likes me, and he says yes. Yay! You are mother, she dummy, right? That really cracks me up. The owner is quite funny, I gotta say. That's it for today, fellow humans. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.